Hello, so we are going to discuss on immune cells. Immune cells. Immune cells, they are the white blood cells, which we also call the leukocytes. They are the leukocytes, and they are the key players in the immune system because they recognize and fight invaders or infections in the body. Okay, they fight against bacteria, they fight against viruses, they fight against parasites, they fight against fungi and other diseases in the body. Okay, so these white blood cells or the immune cells, they are categorized into innate and adaptive immunity. These are two different response. Okay, the innate immunity, they have their cells, the cells that act under the innate immunity. We're going to identify these cells both for innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Okay, in the innate immunity, we have the neutrophils. We also have the macrophages. These macrophages, they are derived from the monocytes. And these monocytes, they're a kind of a precursor that produces or that secretes the macrophages and the dendritic cells. And these macrophages and dendritic cells, like you're seeing here, macrophages and dendritic cells, they are antigen presenting cells. And they form a kind of bridge from innate immunity to adaptive immunity in immuno response. Okay. If you look at also, we also have the natural killer cells. We have the eosinophils, the basophils, the mast cells. These are the cells that act under the innate immunity. Okay, that is innate immunity or immune response. So we have the adaptive immunity. The adaptive immunity, these also know that this innate immunity, they are first line of effect. They are the first attackers in the first site of infection. Okay, they are first line of defense in immune response. The adaptive and they act very quickly, they are not specific. Okay, we're going to discuss them clearly separately in our next class. So in adaptive immunity, they are very specific and they don't act very fast, just like the innate immunity. Okay, and they also help in future they have because they produce memory cells, they help to fight invaders that may occur in future. So that is the adaptive immunity for you. The adaptive immunity, we also have the under adaptive immunity, we have the T cells, which are the T lymphocytes that are produced in the thymus. Okay, they differentiate into T helper cells and cytotoxic T cells. I will still discuss their functions one after the other. We just want to identify them in this class. In the next class, we discuss them properly, their functions, and we also answer some quiz under immune cells. So the T helper cells, which we call the CD4 cells, and the cytotoxic T cells, which we call the CD8 cells. The cytotoxic cells, they kill infected cells or cancerous cells, while and the beta cells secrete or differentiate into the plasma cells and the memory beta cells. The plasma cells, they secrete antibodies and the beta cells produces antibodies, while the memory cells, they recall antigens for past response in future infection. Do you understand? They are very, very important, the memory cells. We also have the suppressor cells. We also have the immune cells, the memory T cells too. They all help in recurring past responses in future infections. So these are what I want you to know under these immune cells, and also know that the cytokines, that is the dendritic cells and macrophages, which are derived from monocytes that are antigen presenting cells, you kind of bridging the gap between the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. They do that with the help of cytokines and the chemokine molecules in order to recruit what? Immune cells. Very, very important. So in this topic, just understand what the immune cells are, that they are white blood cells, that they act under two broad responses: innate immune response or innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Know the cells of the innate immunity listed here: the neutrophils, which is very abundant and always seen on the first site of infection; the macrophages, the dendritic cells, the natural killer cells, the eosinophils, basophils, mast cells. Know that the precursor of macrophages and dendritic cells, which are antigen presenting cells, are from monocytes. Also know that the adaptive immunity or immune response, they secrete the T cells or the T lymphocytes and the B cells or the B lymphocytes. The T lymphocytes, they are produced in the thymus. The B lymphocytes, they are what? They are the beta cells produced in the what? In the bone marrow. And T lymphocytes, they differentiate into what? T helper cells are cytotoxic cells, or they are into two: the T helper cells CD4 and CD8. And then the beta cells, which are secreted in the bone marrow, they differentiate into beta cells and memory beta cells. The beta cells, they produces antibodies, while the memory cells, they recall what? They recall past response in future infection. The primary cells, the plasma cells, secrete antibodies. Also know that the dendritic cells and the macrophages, they bridge, they are just like a bridge connecting the innate immune system to the adaptive immune system by virtue of presenting antigens, okay? And then they do that with the help of cytokines and chemokines that help in signaling these molecules that recruit towards immune cells. So also know that these bacteria or these invaders can be bacteria, they can be virus, they can be fungi, they can be parasites, and what have you. The immune system is very, very important. It's very, very crucial. It is a key player in the body. They are just like body soldiers helping to fight against invaders, and also recurring memory cells to fight against future occurrences or future invaders in the body. They are very, very important. So go through them, digest it, ask questions, comment, like, and share. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe for more of this. Subscribe so that you encourage me to do more of this. Thank you, class. See you in our next class.